welcome to Soul-Voyance. I am Psychic Selina, and here are my world predictions for my weekly podcast, which is the World Predictions Podcast. You can listen to it on YouTube, Podbean, Apple iTunes, podcasts, and a variety of platforms. You can also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Substack, YouTube. And if you want to book a reading, I also do psychic readings and astrology readings. You can head over to my website. The link is under this video. So today we're going to be discussing a range of psychic predictions that have come in. I'm also going to give you some new predictions and some updates as well. And we're also going to be talking about what Pluto going forward into Aquarius, coming out of retrograde, is going to mean for the world. Okay, so we're going to start with, this is some new predictions, a few new predictions and updates on UK politics and US politics. So we're going to start with UK. Angela Rayner. Now, you remember Angela Rayner? She actually resigned in the beginning of September. This was one of my predictions. I actually made it last May. Now, I'm seeing Angela Rayner is going to join the For You party, the one that's led by Jeremy Corbyn. And I'm seeing this will happen at the end of the year, this year, 2025, the beginning of 2026. She's going to make a really big surprise announcement. Then I'm seeing that she actually does not like Keir Starmer. She's disappointed in him that he couldn't support her, back her up to stay as the Deputy Prime Minister. So she had to resign because of this financial housing scandal she went through. And I'm seeing that she's actually always been a really big supporter of Jeremy Corbyn. So what will happen is I'm seeing her join the party. It's called the You Party, For You Party. It's a new political party that was created very recently. And she's going to rise up the ranks and become the deputy, because I'm seeing, so she's going to be the deputy of this new party. Secretly in her mind, she wants to lead this party, but I don't see her leading it at the moment. Certainly not when she joins initially. And I'm seeing the other lady, Sultana, is actually going to resign from that party. She's not going to be in that party anymore. And Angela will then take a higher position when she enters the party. Now, for Sultana, I'm just seeing conflicts, internal conflicts within that party with other people, with other party members, and then she will actually resign. So this is going to be a surprise at the end of the year, beginning of next year, for Angela Rayner joining this party. It's a surprise not for her, it's a surprise for the nation, because it's going to come really unexpectedly. Now, I'm going to talk about Donald Trump. I made a prediction very recently that he's going to make a naughty swear word about, it's going to begin with A and end with whole, and this is going to be directed at Netanyahu. It's either Netanyahu or Hamas. I don't know which one it is, but I'm seeing it's linked to somebody breaking the ceasefire rules. So there'll be a breach of ceasefire, i.e. more bombing or gunfire from, well, that's actually already happened, but that happened slightly after I made the prediction. Because I actually made this prediction a few days ago. And so I'm seeing there'll be more breaches of the ceasefire from both sides, Hamas and Israel, Netanyahu specifically, because he actually gives the orders. So I'm seeing that Trump is actually going to be really disappointed that the ceasefire has broken, because he wants peace, because he actually wants to do business deals with Gaza. I don't think Trump is completely about peace. I think he wants peace, but I think it's for his own gain to do business deals with the land, because he's got ideas for reconstructing that land, building on it. You know, do you remember he did that promotional video on that? It was called Trump Gaza, and it was like a pop song. So I think he's going to be disappointed in Netanyahu. Also, Donald Trump is an alpha male, so is Netanyahu, and I think Donald Trump is trying to lead everything and say, you know, if I say there's going to be a ceasefire, you have to do it. So Netanyahu is not going to necessarily comply with everything Donald is saying. Donald will get angry with Netanyahu and Hamas for breaking the ceasefire. And this is coming in, I would say more November, but you could see bits of it in October. But I'm seeing November is going to be a lot of tension and escalation in that area. And I'm seeing then Donald calling either Netanyahu or Hamas or someone connected with that a swear word beginning with A, ending with Hol. And I can see him really flaring up, like his face going red, really flaring up, because it kind of will ruin his plan for building on that Gaza Strip, you know, because he wants to do property development. So it's ruining his plans. I'm also seeing escalations with bombing generally in that area, but I'm seeing more bombing in Iran. So I think Israel will bomb Iran and Syria again. Again, I get November onwards. Then I'm seeing Donald Trump involving US, like having an involvement in that bombing. Remember, he bombed Iran before. I think I predicted the exact date. I got the 21st of June he'd do it, and he did it on the 21st of June because I heard A Midsummer's Night Dream. He's going to do a repeat of that bombing on Iran. It's to do with like claiming that they have a nuclear weapon. That's what I'm seeing. It's like they're going to say, so Israel and the US will say, oh, they've got a nuclear weapon, they're not allowed to have it, so we'll bomb them again. It's that kind of thing. So things could get very, very messy, very tense, very chaotic. I'm not necessarily seeing peace at the moment. Longer term, I do see peace in Gaza, but it's not for a while. But I think it's a very complex situation that will involve, the war will involve the Iranian Gulf, Syria. It's not just the Gaza Strip, it is other countries, and I'm seeing escalations, gradual escalations, start, stop, on, off, and then just this is all leading up to World War III. It's like a build up, and World War III will be mainly in the Gulf area, the Gulf of Iran, and also partially linked to the Ukraine war as well, because I actually see that escalating again, start, stop. So that a lot of people are asking me on this, so that hopefully that has given you an update for the coming week, couple of weeks ahead. This is kind of end of October going into November, what I think will happen. So the main prediction here is that I do see the ceasefire being broken very soon, and Donald Trump being really angry about it and swearing in some way. And the swear word will be caught on camera. Like he'll actually say it in an interview. Oh, I think they were beep or something, you know, he'll say something like that. The other prediction I saw with Donald Trump and Vance, JD Vance, will be that they're actually going to be opening some sort of aircraft carrier or naval ship. And it reminded me of that song that was done by the Village People. Do you remember the Village People? They released that song called YMCA, and they also released a song called In the Navy. Do you remember In the Army, in the Navy? And I keep seeing that and hearing that when Donald Trump and Vance are doing this ribbon cutting to launch this big battleship. I don't know whether it's a battleship or an aircraft carrier, something in the water. to do with Navy war, warship. And I was hearing this song, in the Navy. And so I just thought I'll share that with you. Of course, it's like propaganda to prepare for war, that US are protected, prepare for war, all of that kind of thing. So I can actually see things are escalating already. And it's like, I have a feeling Donald Trump knows this. He knows he has to prepare for war. But he's actually getting very confused at the moment, because I think he's being told lots of different things. He's been given lots of different advice. And with the war, it's like he's got plans, his own intentions to do business development, but then he has to prepare if there is a war, Third World War. And I just think he's panicking. He's stressed. He's stressed. His health still is declining. He's hiding it. If you look at his hand, he's got a similar bruise on his hand to what the Queen had before she died. So that indicates to me that his health is not good. And I'm seeing that there will be major health declines for him next year, major ones that stop him from being president anymore. That's how his presidency will end, due to major health decline. It's not anything else. It is just literally doctors say, you cannot do this, you cannot work anymore, you are really unwell. So that's what I'm seeing. Right, now going back to UK politics, this is a bit of a funny one. So Donald Trump did the peace summit in Egypt, and got Starmer was there, Sir Keir Starmer, he's been knighted, of course. Sir Keir Starmer, he was on one side of Trump, and Trump started to overtalk him. Like he introduced him and then he just carried on talking, and then Starmer's face just dropped. Now, what I'm seeing here is Starmer is very scared of Trump. That's because I'm being shown Trump has a lot of dirt on Starmer. He knows a lot of stuff about him, that Starmer is very scared. If he puts the foot wrong with Trump, Trump will reveal a lot. So that's what's going on there. That's what that was about, just in case people were wondering. With Keir Starmer, I'm still seeing a massive sinkhole. I'm actually thinking that there's two things going on. So he literally goes in a sinkhole, well, not literally, but a metaphor of his career is coming to an end. Massive scandals, massive revelations. They could be linked with that China spying case. They could be linked with Epstein. They could be linked with Epstein, Mandelson. There's just a lot of stuff that's going to be revealed. And it's all to do with Pluto, because the planet Pluto has moved forward. It's just gone direct in Aquarius on Monday, the 13th of October. This brings with it a lot of revelations and scandals. Okay. So you're going to see a lot of this in the coming, I would say 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks from now, like over the next 4 weeks. So with Starmer, I'm seeing that, yes, he does start to go in a sinkhole around the 21st to the 23rd of October, but I'm also seeing a physical sinkhole somewhere in the world. So on those dates, there'll actually be a massive sinkhole that sinks in the ground. And this is a prediction I made quite a long time ago. So I'm just giving you an update. It's coming up soon. Then we have Rachel Reeves. So she's the UK Chancellor of the Exchequer. She is really stressed because she's going to have to raise the taxes for November budget, November 26th. I don't actually see her there very long. I know her sister was sacked in September. Angela Rayner went beginning of September. It's very hard to do the exact timeline predictions for these people because they're dropping like flies so quickly. Even for me, it's very hard to keep up with it. But Rachel Reeves, I think she might go before that budget is actually made, because I do see her resigning very soon. I see her resigning around the same time as Keir Starmer. It might be slightly after him or slightly before. It's really similar timing. And it's all to do with that budget, because she's got a lot of people there making, new people making that budget, and there's conflict. Also, I get mental well-being issues with her. It's like she can't cope. And I had a vision of her tearing up the piece of paper, that's the budget, and then walking off. It's like, I can't take this anymore. I'm not going to deal with this. It's just like mental well-being overload, and then just leaves. That's what's going to happen to her. So that's the UK stuff. Now, predictions that came in. So I'm going to run through them. We had a massive internet power cut outage this week with Vodafone. That was one of my predictions I'd made earlier this month. For Joe Biden, I predicted he'd have a massive health scare update would come in, and it has. He's now started radiotherapy because his prostate cancer has become very advanced. Now, Lee, which is actually really, really sad news for him. I'm still seeing a very big state funeral, January 2026. I feel the death will happen of the person that dies in December 2025 this year. And the dates, the really strong date I got was the 29th of December. I also got the 21st of December. I see her lying in state in a casket, and I saw Donald Trump at this funeral, and I saw a Greek flag flying half-mast. So it could be Joe Biden, because he has a Greek ancestral link. I've posted it on my TikTok and Instagram if you want to see that video. He has an ancestral link to someone who fought in the Greek independence war. And it could be King Charles, because his father was born in Greece, in Corfu. That was Prince Philip, and he was apparently smuggled in a box of oranges when he was a baby out of Corfu, right? And that's an amazing story. And I've actually seen where he was born. He was born under a table, and I've seen the exact house on a boat trip I went to in Corfu, and that was when I was 16. So I think I said that before to you. So yes, I do see this state funeral. It will be televised. It's not going to be like the one we had in September with Charlie Kirk. That was not exactly a state funeral, but it was a very big televised, publicized funeral that I predicted. This one is massive. This one is a lying in state. It was bigger than the one in September. So it's either those two people. It could be another world leader, I'm not sure, but it's not Trump. It's definitely a male. It's either a king, a president, or an ex-president, or a leader of some sort. Could be King Charles, could be. For King Charles, I do see a new king. Whatever happens, that I don't know what happens, whatever happens, there's a new king of the United Kingdom in May 2026. So it's either a new king or a coronation. I will post more on TikTok about that. I've got more videos on details of the coronation, because there's a few details I'm seeing, especially with the crown and things like that. Now, I also predicted big floods in the Canada region. Now, when I looked on the map in my third eye, it was like Canada, Arctic Circle, Northern America. The floods actually happened in Alaska. They weren't Canada, but they were very near. So sometimes when I see an area on the map, I can give you the area. I don't know always the exact country. Sometimes I can give you the country or city, but I knew it was that Arctic Circle area at the top of North America. And it did come in, and I think 42 people at least died. A lot of people lost their homes. So this was a catastrophic flood in Alaska. Number 4, I also predicted a bus crash, a massive bus crash that would turn over. And this happened in South Africa, and 42 people, I think it was 42 for that, died. I can't remember for the Alaska floods, but 42 people died in this big bus crash. It turned over, and this was in South Africa. So that was a catastrophic prediction. Coming on to lighter, happier predictions now that came in. What were they? Well, I predicted there would be some sort of satellite or asteroid or something going around the Earth's moon that would be spotted. And of course, something came in that was like that. They predicted that. They've actually seen an asteroid heading to crash into the moon in 2028. This asteroid is going to smash into the moon's surface and cause like a really, really big catastrophic crater there. So it's not exactly rotating around the moon. Maybe there will be a prediction where they find a second moon around the moon. It's called the moon, but this did come in with a satellite coming to crash into the moon, and this satellite is called an asteroid. Number 2, I predicted that there would be a saint that is unearthed in some way, revealed, discovered, a saint, an ancient saint's body, relics. And of course, Francis of Assisi has been unearthed after 800 years. They have exhumed his tomb and they are laying his relics, his bone relics, out on an altar. They're on display. I'm not exactly sure why they're doing that or what they're doing with them, but there was some sort of unearthing of Saint Francis of Assisi. And of course, someone actually said to me, he's one of my spirit guides. I'm not sure. I do have a monk guide called Malachi. He's Irish, but I don't think that was Francis of Assisi, but maybe Francis of Assisi visited me at some stage. I do not know. Now, the other one was the mosaic. I saw a big mosaic underground being unearthed. Something to do with the water jug. And this was really old mosaic, like ancient Roman times, thousands of years ago. And of course, this mosaic got revealed in Turkey. It's 1,500 years old, I think. And it was in a water mill. So that was the water jug link. It was found underneath the earth in a water mill, and it's all been kind of polished up. And finally, we have our macadamia nuts. I'm going nuts over this prediction, not really. I made a prediction on macadamia nuts. I just saw these macadamia nuts. It was during that eclipse, so you've got to forgive me. I was having so many visions. And I just got macadamia nuts everywhere. And of course, Roseanne Barr just sold her big macadamia nut farm. Roseanne Barr, famous actress. She sold her house, and it has a very big macadamia nut farm. I didn't even know she had a farm on it that had nuts. So she sold that. So we assume that was what it was. We don't know. So this is all very interesting stuff. And of course, Pluto, again, just to explain now what's going on with Pluto. So yes, revelations, but also transformations. So this can be new governments, new ways of doing things. And you will see this play out over the next 12 months. New monarchy, new presidents of the United States, new policies, new ways of thinking. So transformations. We hope it's transformations for the better, but it isn't always, because of course corruption can get in as well. But for your life, it can be positive transformation. So look in the astrology houses of your chart, which house transiting Pluto is in. So for example, it's in my 4th house. So not natal Pluto, but transiting Pluto. It's in my 4th house. So this is to do with home, property, housing, dwellings. And you can also look at where Pluto is in your natal chart. It's in my 1st house. I'm just giving myself as an example. So it's in my 1st house. So this is about identity and how I show up in the world. So I won't go into detail, but there's things that I'm doing that will increase that. I will be showing up in the world a lot more very soon. It's a surprise I've got for you. And stuff with properties as well is going on for me. So have a look at your chart and see how Pluto is, how the direct action of Pluto is affecting you, because it's moved forward in Aquarius after this long retrograde. So hopefully things will start to transform in your life. Now I'm just going to tell you about my special offer, psychic reading. This offer won't be on for very long. I would say maximum 2 or 3 weeks, because it sells out very quickly. There's only a few spaces left. It's called the Enchantica Fairies reading. It's 7 predictions and a crystal oracle message. Goddess, fairies, tarot, all of that. And you can book it through my website. The link is under this video, and it is remotely recorded, so you do not need to be present. It's £35. So best to book now, because as I said, especially in the beginning of November, when I release my November predictions, it will sell out within 24 hours. They always do. And I do special offers every month. So we've had so many predictions. Every week I do this, there's more and more predictions I'm getting. I think I've gone up a level psychically. I don't do the paranormal stories anymore because I don't have time. So I may have to do another podcast separately on paranormal stories at some stage. I probably will, but at the moment it is just predictions. Remember, you can subscribe free to my YouTube channel. This podcast will go out on it. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Substack, and probably everywhere else in the universe, right? I think I'm on about 20 platforms now. Thank you so much for watching. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe on this video and podcast. And I'll see you next week, next Wednesday, for some more world predictions. Bye for now.